welcome back to Create Compassion. I'm Lexi, and today I'm going to be interviewing my friend Megan here. She is a nurse, a frontline worker, and she works in an operating room setting. But I wanted to talk to her today about just the mental health experience of a nurse, especially with COVID, but honestly, just in general, because I think this is something we need to talk about. What is the mental health like, and how is it impacted by working in a hospital with patients? So, this is Megan. Megan, do you want to say anything about yourself?
I guess I'll give a little introduction. I passed my NCLEX in 2019 and graduated from the UIC nursing school. I have been employed as an operating room nurse now for it'll be 3 years in this August. And most of that time was, of course, during the pandemic. So it's been a learning process.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. Yes, you're fresh at this a little bit, but
Yes, I'm a newbie.
thank you for being here today. Um, all right, so let's just get started. What does a base level of stress look like at work?
So in the operating room, we're considered a specialty nursing program. We work right next to the doctors, and at my place of work, we're trained also to scrub and circulate, meaning we're the people passing the instruments to the doctor, and we're also the people recording what's going on in the operating room and getting necessary materials. With every surgery we do, there is always a little bit of a risk. So sometimes it could be kind of very stressful working with the doctors. The doctors are stressed, we're stressed. It's very much a teamwork type job where you have to communicate with the doctors and the residents and the fellows and the anesthesiologist and housekeeping and everyone. It's all a group effort to keep the patient safe, to make sure they get the operation that they need, which can also be very stressful, and make sure all those individual moving parts are moving together in the right direction.
So there's a lot going on, obviously, in the operating room. So awesome. How has COVID impacted that? How has COVID changed the base level of stress?
It's definitely increased it. What a lot of people tend to forget is that COVID is a disease. It does affect how you breathe and how you move. And we're a level 1 trauma center, so we do operate on patients with COVID because they need that specific surgery. It's considered emergent. If they didn't get it, then there's a high possibility of them not doing so well in the future. So when you get a COVID patient, it becomes that much more stressful because one, you're wearing all the gear, you're wearing the N95s, you're wearing the PAPRs. But then for the anesthesiologist, you have to intubate your patient, which is an air sterilizing procedure, which means there's a higher chance of you breathing in a COVID virus from your patient. And then it's even risky for the patient too, because they have this basically an upper respiratory infection. When you're intubating someone, even if they didn't have COVID and they were sick, we normally would have canceled the surgery. But in this case, we have to go because it's an emergency procedure, and it does make the anesthesiologist, their job becomes a lot harder because it becomes a lot more difficult to intubate and make sure the patient is still breathing and doing as what they're supposed to be doing.
I think that it makes sense that having COVID would impact the success and the treatment itself during surgery. And well, thank you for going through that, and thank you for sharing that. How has your mental health been outside of work?
As a new nurse, I didn't take care of myself during nursing school, or for the first few years of your job. With this whole COVID and going on, it's really taught me that not only do I need to take care of my patients? I also need to take care of myself as well. I've learned that I need to put myself first too. There is a time and a place to take care of yourself, and it should be a priority and not just when I get to it.
And then, I mean, I feel like that's everyone, but I feel like especially when you're in a high stress situation like that, like a high stress workplace environment, like it's even more crucial to be taking care of your mental health. Um, what are some things you do to kind of relax and take care of yourself?
I try to have like an hour every day after work where it's just like me time, either working out, which I don't do, but should, or like I make myself a really nice dinner. Like I set out all the prep stuff. I'll make like a really nice piece of fish, or, maybe I'll paint my nails or read a book. But that hour, I tend to turn off my phone. I tend to turn off my computer, and like that hour is just for me to decompress. I've also found that talking to a lot of my friends as well, coworkers and whatnot, about the day, just reaffirming that despite what happened today, like you're still a valid person, you're still good at your job. Just because, the day didn't go so well, or you wish you could have changed a few things, doesn't mean that, you failed.
No, I think that's good. And I think with what you're doing too, as long as everyone's okay and the surgeries are going well, like that's probably like your measurement of success here.
Yes.
But yeah, and whether your mental health is good or not, just knowing that hopefully helps. But yeah, no, I agree. Having like an hour to yourself is like sometimes that's all you need. Just like, bye guys, I'm gonna go isolate. I'm gonna not talk to anyone for like a day, an hour, or whatever. Just like bye. But I think that's really important to just like take that time and to know which activities are good for you and all of that, which like work for you to de-stress. What is something that you maybe the hospital you work at is doing well, or what they're doing kind of poorly in regards to like their staff's mental health, and either good or bad?
One good thing is that most hospitals, including my own, have a chapel. It's a non-denomination area of faith. They have a priest or a religious holy man there you can go to. They have prayer sessions. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or Hindu or any of the above. It's designed to be a quiet place for you to kind of collect your thoughts, and they've made it readily available to staff as well as patient and patient families. And my hospital has these call-in sessions where you can talk to a person, and they try to work some things out. And of course they want to make sure that their employees are staying safe as well as healthy through this pandemic.
I want to hear more. Okay, that's awesome. And I also want to hear more about the chapel itself. Have you been utilizing that? Has that brought you like any peace at all?
Yes, I have used it. Sometimes I'll go before work if I'm there, a couple minutes early. I like to sit there and just kind of breathe and prepare myself for the day. And it's nice knowing that I'm not alone, and that it's just a reminder that like I have people who love me, and I love people too. And it's a good reminder to take a deep breath and to go into my workspace with a fresh thought head,
Yes.
not cluttered with the stuff or the anxieties and anxiousness of the previous days. It's just a nice place to take a deep breath and then to go forward.
And I feel like just being in like some sort of like holy presence with the Lord helps a lot too. And I feel like that in itself just brings peace. So,
And it's a very non-denominational too. So it's just these beautiful glass windows, and comfortable seats. And then as always, there is the chapel. You can person on call as well.
oh, that's good. I'm really grateful that like I think I'm wondering, I do most hospitals have that? I'd
Most
assume.
hospitals I've found, the two that I worked at, previously I had worked as a nursing assistant at Rush, and they had one as well. I don't remember what floor, but it was in my entry
That's
packet.
cool. I think, well, okay, that makes me happy that they have that. Oh my gosh, you can see like the rays of the light coming in here.
Definitely
Oh
good
my gosh. The sun
timing.
is out today. The sun is out. It is like how many degrees? It's 18 degrees outside and the sun is shining. Um, Megan and I are in the Chicagoland area, so there's like a foot of snow on the ground right now, but the sun is bright, so there's always something to be grateful for. Um, and I guess that's like the last question I had for you, but I want to just say thank you so much for being a part of this and letting me ask you questions today about your mental health experience. Is there anything else you want to add?
Just that, everybody stay safe, um, get vaccinated, even, don't listen to your friend Joe Schmo or whatever. Do your research, make sure you look at, ask a doctor, ask someone with credentials, and, be safe, be happy. Remember to take care of yourself.
Thank you so much again. And that's good. Just honestly, just taking care. This light, oh my goodness. It's too bright. God is filtering in today. Let me tell you. He is blessing this interview. Oh my gosh, this flicker. But thank you so much. Again, guys, this is Create Compassion. Here I talk about mental health. I talk about my faith in Jesus and all of that good stuff. You are a lovely person, so I hope you have a day that's as lovely as you are.